Have you fed up after writing PSC exams after exams and not getting any results? Or do you feel an emptiness within you that you haven't got the job after a lot of hard work, a lot of effort? Or do you feel awkward when people judge you based on the exams results? Hi, I'm Pradeep Hariharan. I am an assistant professor of English and currently on a mission to build future English teachers from Kerala, especially from the regional background. Many of my students say that they have already given up their PSC hopes. So, in this video, I want to tell you how you have to overcome or you can overcome your exam depression and prepare for the next exam with a focused mindset and what you may call with a lot of enthusiasm. I want to suggest you a four-step action plan to approach this problem. And firstly, you need to understand why do you feel pain. Actually, remember, potential unexpressed turns to pain, says Robin Sharma. That means if you're feeling pain, it's because there is a hidden potential in you, and there is a teacher in you, or there is a good worker in you, and the only thing is that you haven't yet realized it. So it is because of that you feel an emptiness or you feel awkward because of that. So what is the problem? There are four problems that which I have identified. First thing is that we either underestimate the exam or overestimate our abilities. Actually, one of my students who hasn't got any job for last 10 years, and every time when I meet him, he says next time I'm going to get it. So I ask him, what are you doing differently now to get the new job? He says nothing, sir. And I say, how can you expect a different result if you don't do something differently? So whenever you if you don't get a result, you have to do something differently for the next exam. Try to pick up a new book, or try to do a new course, or try to study hard, or try to gain focus. Understand the problem, and don't think that if you do the same thing again and again, you will get a different result. Second thing is that we don't understand the competition, dears. Actually, when you look around. We see people who are just like us, but there are some what you may call dark horses. There are some students who spend day night studying to get the job. So you need to understand that when you're writing an exam, you're competing with a large pool of people, especially if you are appearing for a teacher exam. Remember, you're competing from the age group of 24 to 40, and these people may have experience. So please understand the competition and try to be the best version of yourself. Okay, how can I do that? I will tell you. And remember, it is always good to have a larger mission in life. For example, if you want to be a teacher, or ask yourself, why do I want to be a teacher? If you think I want to serve a lot of poor students by teaching in government school, that should be your mission. So whenever you have to prioritize. Okay, or if you want to get a government job, you ask yourself, why do I want to get a government job? So naturally you say, I want to get a job so that I can support my family, I can be independent. So freedom. Okay, so you have to have a mission that I want financial freedom, I want to support my family, I want to lead with self-respect. So if you set a bigger mission than just getting looking for a job, there is always a chance of scoring better. It has worked for me. And thirdly, don't ever judge yourself based on your one performance or two or three or even five or six performance, dear. Sometimes it takes years of hard work to achieve something really solid. If you look at any inventions, turn back, and it has taken years. And I agree, there are some people who are just 22 who write an exam and get the job, but they are very few. Average, normally, it takes what you may call years of hard work to get a job. And what is the solution to this? That's the next thing I want to tell you. First thing is that this is the best quote I always liked. Hope is not a strategy, dear. What happens is that when you write an exam, you don't get the result. You think that next time I can crack it. Next time I can crack it. I will get it. You must have some solid action plans. You must do something differently that you have done for the last time. Either you must increase your studies, or you must do something different. You cannot expect the different result doing the same thing again and again. And second thing is that remember, have a mindset. Every failure is a stepping stone here. There is no failure. Okay, actually, I remember one of the best quote from Abdul Kalam. There are no failures in life, only challenges. That's beautifully written by Abdul Kalam. And Edmund Hillary, when he failed his last attempt, that is, before he conquered Mount Everest, the year before that, he was giving a lecture in UK, and there was a picture of Mount Everest next to him. So then one reporter mocked at him for something, and Edmund Hillary gave a wonderful reply. He said that he looked at the Mount Everest and said, Mount Everest, you cannot grow further because your height is fixed, 8,814 meters, but I can grow. So that should be your attitude. Okay, when you write the exam, you tell that, okay, exam, you won this time, I didn't get it, but I can grow. Each and every day I can grow. And the another thing is that, dear, you have to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Remember, this is the best quote I like. The illiterates of the 21st century are not those who can read, write, those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. Actually, if you are preparing for something, if your notes are 2 or 3 years old, bad, burn it them and get new notes, because the world is changing every day. Every night when we sleep and wake up, the things are happening, new things are humming. So, in this world, you must be that much adaptable. You have to learn, unlearn, and relearn every day. This I'm telling you from my personal experience. I don't tell anything that I don't practice. And what actions you have to take? There are 5 actions you have to take. First thing, whenever you write an exam, understand the exam. And remember, every time it gets tougher and tougher. And also look for a number of vacancies. Basically, I have seen some students who apply for all exams, even there is only one vacancy. Personally, I don't support that strategy. My theory is that if I am applying, there must be at least 10 vacancies so that I can focus on 2 or 3 exams. Okay, than writing a lot of exam and getting nothing. So we have a limited resource of energy, dear. Whatever may be your strategy. So when you are focusing on something, ensure that there are at least certain number of vacancies. Otherwise, you must have a class first person, because I have never ever been a class first student. So if there are only 2 or 3 vacancies, I think I have never been a class first student. So how can I get into the one job from across a state? And secondly, another thing which I recently read, which I really liked, understand timing, dears. Remember, in 2008 was the year when I wrote PSC exam for assistant professor. This is my personal story. In 2010, the list came out. I think in 2009, November came out. Within, I think, 45 days, I got my appointment order. Not only me, some 30 people. That fast. But fast forward to 2023, the last assistant professor list came in February. And even now, July, no one has been appointed. So that is known as sometimes timings. Okay, so sometimes even if you do your best, things won't happen. So what I'm saying is that ensure that you are fighting for a cause where you will get a job. Otherwise, what happens is that our energies will be waste and you feel really bad. And there is another story. One of my friends who came second in an HSA list, but he didn't get the job. It's not he, it's she. In a district, I won't want to reveal who the name and which district. It was second, but she didn't get the job because there was no vacancies in the district. But at the same time, in the neighboring district, some 58 people got appointed. So the problem is that she did not do the research on where to apply. And I know some people are really smart, but unfortunately, most of us are not really smart, dears. We just apply in our home district and we hope. That's why I told you at the beginning, hope is not. And another thing is that challenge yourself, dears. Without challenge, you will not progress. And thirdly, if you want to get an exam, I always recommend get more practice. Practice. It's just like if you want to play tennis, you have to practice more. If you want to be a good cook, you have to practice. It is through practice that we learn. And finally, the last one is a very personal advice is that avoid social media and avoid unwanted videos. If you're watching this video, which is very good, but the problem with YouTube is that once we started to watch, it takes us to a places and we spend a lot of time. So if you ask yourself how much time you are spending on YouTube. And finally, I want to tell you is that prioritize, dear. It is your life. And you need to understand that if we don't study hard and not study hard, if you are studying hard, I know that if you don't get the job that you dream of, after some times you will start to get a kind of an emptiness syndrome, emptiness. Okay. So if you want to overcome, you have to say that I need this badly and I'm going to do my best. So have the mindset of a warrior. And I have read somewhere that great warriors fight for a they fight to get a good fight. Okay, so put a good fight. If you have done everything and still you didn't get the job, then you say that okay, at least you will have the feeling that I did my best, and what do we call, I'm not lucky or it's not for me. But if you really put the effort, if you work based on a strategy, and if you do the research, and if you challenge yourself, and if you have a larger mission in life, if you want to get a job for freedom, your personal financial freedom, or for your family, or you want to serve the world by teaching students, I will certainly see you in a job in 2 or 3 years from now. So thank you very much for watching. This is my personal, it's a very personal video I recorded because for some of my students, I hope one of you may be watching it. So I'll see you in another video. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.